Hi there. In the previous episode, we were discussing about the global maritime and distress safety system. In this episode, too, we are going to concentrate a little bit more on GMDSS, that is Global Maritime Distress and Safety System. According to IMO of the year 1999, the GMDS represents a worldwide network of automated emergency communications for ships at sea. SONAS Convention Chapter 4 states that all ocean-going passenger ships and cargo ships of 300 gross tonnage and upwards are required to carry radio equipment that conforms to the international standards. Now, what is the purpose of the GMDSS? According to IMO, the main purpose of GMDSS is to prevent unanswered distress call and delayed search and rescue actions when distress situations occur. GMDSS assures that any emergency at sea will result in a distress call and the response to that call will be immediate and effective. The SOLAS Convention Chapter 4 of the Radio Communication, as per Regulation 7 Radio Communication, it lists all the radio equipments required on board the vessels. Now, what are the equipments that is required for the GMDSS? The GMDSS consists of Inmarsat, which is a global mobile satellite communication super system providing two-way communication by data and messaging, NAVTEX, an international automated service for delivery of navigational and meteorological warnings, forecasts, and urgent maritime safety information to ships, emergency position indicating radio beacon, that is an automated identification and locator device for search and rescue operations. Search and rescue locating equipment, automatically leading search and rescue units to the position of distress by signaling search and rescue radar transponders, and digital selective calling, a standard for sending predefined digital messages from ship to ship, ship to shore, and shore to ship. The DSE is considered the automatic watch on distress channels running on VHF, MFHF radios. The satellite communication is based on a satellite network that reaches up to the sea area of A3. Emergency position indicating radio beacons, or otherwise known as the EPIRBs, and search and rescue transponders, or otherwise known as the SART, S-A-R-T, which is spelled in phonetics as Sierra, Alpha, Romeo, Tango, are sending out distress and locating signals under emergencies. EPIRBs are small portable device using global cross-pass SERSAT satellite system and sending signals on the 406 MHz frequency, whereas the SART devices are portable radar transponders operating on the X-band radar, and search and rescue transponders can stay afloat when a ship has sunk and are also used on the lifeboats. EPIRB automatically sends distress signals when coming in contact with the water. Now, for the purpose of understanding GMDSS and how the system works, we need to concentrate a little bit on the topography. In olden time terrestrial communications, the main emphasis was given for the surface wave propagation and the skywave propagation, and we had to depend upon a coast radio station for exchange of communication wherever it is. Whereas in the GMDSS, for the purpose of easy operations, the entire sea area has been divided into 4. Sea area A1, sea area A2, sea area A3, sea area A4. Now, what is the sea area A1, A2, A3, and A4? These, according to the geographical positions of the various countries, have been designated to have one or more systems in operational status for the purpose of effecting search and rescue and distress communications. For example, in sea area A1, you will be in the proximity of a coast station or the CRS, the coast radio station, which will have an automated facility for VHF DSC reception, and the range for this VHF DSC is about 50 nautical miles, or say 50 miles. So, any vessel within the range of 50 miles from a coast can alert a coast station in the times of emergency, and the coast station can initiate immediate action for search and rescue. Now the question comes, what happens if there is a vessel after or beyond the sea area or 50 miles range? That area beyond 50 miles nautical range is classified as area A2, and in this area A2, like before in A1, there will be a coast station with MF DSC operational facilities. Now, not going much into what is VHF, MF, MFHF, or areas and other things, we will just limit ourselves in today's episode for only the 4 sea areas. And then the question comes about area A3. Now, what is area A3? This is an area which is including A1 and A2, but the coverage is mainly, the communication is mainly using satellite communications, and also the MF, HF, SSB, and the digital selective poly. And then the last area, area A4. This is a very particular and special area because there will be no satellite coverage system as you go up north above 60 degrees, because the satellites are all geostationary satellites placed at an orbit at a distance of about 36,000 kilometers from the Earth. So as you go up above north of 60 degrees north, the coverage of satellite is not there. And so in this area, all vessels sailing in this area has to have an MFHF DSC with an NBDP, which is a narrowband direct printing telegraphy, or otherwise known as TOR, or telex over radio. This will be the main purpose, this will be the main composition of equipments in area A4 for effecting search and rescue operations and for carrying out the normal regular operations. Now, as we saw, the IMO has specified that vessels has to be equipped with all types of equipments with respect to the sailing area A1, area A2, area A3, and area A4. What is the carriage requirements for all these equipments? In sea area A1, we saw it is covered by VHF enabling DSC selective and radio telephone, determined by a range of about 20-30 nautical miles, which is about 50 kilometers. In sea area A2, it is covered by MF, also enabling DSRT. The range is about 150 nautical miles. And sea area A3, covered by the HF radio and Inmarsat geostationary satellite, enabling DSC and satellite communication 70 degrees north and below 70 degrees south. Sea area A4 is categorized as the polar regions having 70 degrees north and below 70 degrees south. This area requires HF radio with DSC. The 4 sea areas in the GMDSS network use different equipment in the respective area. For example, in area A1, you need to have a VHF DSC, which is a range of coverage between 20 to 50 miles. In area A2, the range is about 50 to 400 miles, which will be VHF plus MF. And in area A3, which will be 70 degrees north to 70 degrees south, you will have VHF, MF, and satellite. And above 70 degree north or south, it will be HF, MF plus VHF. Now, all these equipments operate on a different type of frequencies in a specific band. MF means medium frequencies, which is from 300 kilohertz to 3 megahertz. HF is high frequencies, which is 3 megahertz to 30 megahertz, and VHF is very high frequencies from 30 megahertz to 300 megahertz. Now we are coming to an important concept of VHF, that is very high frequency. For the purpose of maritime communication, the range of 156 megahertz to 174 megahertz is allocated. This is the VHF radio spectrum for maritime radio communication as allocated by the ITU, which is also known as the International Telecommunication Union. In this spectrum, channel 16, which is having a frequency of 156.025 megahertz, is for distress, urgency, and safety calling communication. Channel 70, which is set at 156.525 megahertz, is for routine VHF DSC, that is digital selective calling watch. Communication channels are put up above and below channel 16 to avoid any interference on channel 16. With the IMO SOLAS, GMDSS being a global standard and committed by more than 170 countries' compliance, adherence and cooperation is of vital importance. One instrument is ship inspection or the ship radio inspection, which can be by shipping companies, maritime authorities, coast guards, and naturally classification societies like DNVGL, Lloyds, Bureau Veritas, ABS, RENA, and so on. So, we had a glimpse of what is GMDSS, how the coverage is being implemented, what are the different sea areas, what are the equipments that is required for the different sea areas, and what is the role played by the different inspection societies with respect to the GMDSS. In my days to come, there will be more videos concentrating more on the GMDSS, the operation of equipments, the composition of the equipments, the procedures, the distress, urgency, safety, channel 16, channel 70, 2182, 2187.5, etc., etc., which will give a wide knowledge to the student community who are in the process of appearing for the GMDSS examinations, and also as a refresher knowledge base for the other students who can hone their skills with this knowledge. I would welcome all the questions with respect to GMDSS, not only with respect to GMDSS, with respect to any navigation communication equipments, the maintenance, the preventive maintenance, and the steps we need to take during an emergency, which will save not only the time but also the money and also the precious life of human beings. I would welcome your subscriptions and encourage for this channel. I would also request to spread around your local friends, community, and others so that more people can be benefited by this YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.